very room on March 14th, 1912, just after 8 a.m., Sheriff Lewis Webb was shot and killed in the line of duty while carrying out the orders of the court. During the melee, the judge, the Commonwealth's attorney, a juror, and a witness were also killed. Sheriff Webb was known for his sense of duty to the people of Carroll County, to his deputies, and for his willingness to carry out his duties in spite of open threats against him and the community for doing so. It is in honor of Sheriff Webb, his valor in the face of extreme adversity, and his commitment to justice for the citizens of Carroll County that I announce my candidacy today for the office of Sheriff of Carroll County in the November 3rd, 2015 general election. I'd like to take a minute and talk about accountability. Think of others first. This was probably the most common phrase spoken to me by my mother during my childhood. That is, of course, next to "I love you" and "stop running in the house." I heard the phrase "think of others first" so often that I had no choice but to analyze its meaning many times over the years growing up. But what does it mean? Does it mean put others first to the detriment of yourself at all costs? No, of course not. The phrase's essence is be accountable to others. Accountability to one another is the very foundation of civilized society. It is the basis of our laws. It is the basic tenet of our religious beliefs. As Americans, mutual accountability is integral to our nationalism and to our heritage. When the Pilgrims first came to North America, it was to escape the tyranny of the British government and to be accountable to one another and to God rather than the oppression of the throne and the Church of England. Accountability is so important to us that we not only expect mutual accountability, but we will enforce it and sometimes even oppose it on others when necessary, like we did at the Boston Tea Party. After 200 years of oppressive rule by the British, the American colonists decided to hold the British accountable. And against seemingly insurmountable odds, we kicked their tails back across the pond twice. Accountability is found in every line of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the Code of Virginia. But we don't like to be held accountable. No one does. And the knowledge that we will be held accountable for our actions is enough to keep most of us within the boundaries of social acceptance. Who then is responsible for enforcing mutual accountability? Quite simply, as good citizens, we are all responsible. But the notion of taking the law into one's own individual hands is as unseemly as the absence of accountability itself. So we select and appoint a criminal justice system to operate within our own set of laws. At the very crux of our criminal justice system is the sheriff. In Virginia, as in most places in the United States, the sheriff is the glue that holds the criminal justice system in place. The absence of the sheriff would render our criminal justice system impotent. No court security, no jailers, and in many cases, no law enforcement. Perhaps the most poignant fact about an elected sheriff is that he is deliberately answerable to the citizens, and thus directly represents the people. What better personification of a government of the people, by the people, and for the people? We are responsible for accountability. We must hold each other accountable, and we must, by way of our voting authority, hold our government officials accountable. Chris, why should you be sheriff? When choosing a candidate whom you elect sheriff, you should consider the candidate's personal values. I believe in accountability. I believe in equality. I believe in honor and integrity. I believe in valor and righteousness. I believe that no man and no woman is above the law, and that no man or no woman is beneath the law. I believe that all citizens of Carroll County deserve justice, fairness, temperance, and compassion, regardless of political party affiliation, church affiliation, or personal relationships. I believe in a Carroll County that holds a bright future for our children and our grandchildren. I believe in a Carroll County that revels in its charm, its cleanliness, its warmth, and in its beauty. I believe that the office of sheriff belongs to the people of Carroll County, not the person who holds the office. I believe that the sheriff is responsible for actively fostering peace within our community. I believe that the sheriff should be actively and intimately involved in the community on a daily basis. And I believe that in order to move forward, we must first have the courage to do so. So what can we expect if you're elected sheriff? You can expect what you should always expect from your elected leaders: strong leadership, faithful stewardship, and dedicated citizenship. If I'm elected sheriff, in addition to the duties of sheriff mandated by the Code of Virginia, it will be the mission of the Carroll County Sheriff's Office to maintain peace and order within the community through community leadership, political and financial stewardship, and effective suppression of criminal activity. It shall be the further mission of the Carroll County Sheriff's Office to establish and maintain an open presence, accountability, and communication within our community by means of open door policies, web presence, and welcome communication. Law enforcement duties will be based on intelligence-led enforcement practices and diligence paid to the good of the community using reasonable discretion with emphasis on compliance and education. Working to achieve accreditation through Virginia Law Enforcement Professional Standards Commission will be a priority to ensure that the department is providing the most effective services to the citizens of Carroll County and to the employees of the agency. But Chris, you're not from here. I've heard this concern voiced many times since I began running for sheriff, talking about running for sheriff. And the truth is, I beg to differ. After years of coming to Twin Counties to visit her family, my wife and I agreed over many magical mountain sunsets that Carroll is, in fact, home. This is where we wanted our children to grow up, to become educated, to leave for a short time and then move their families back here to raise. True, I was not born here. I did not grow up here. I did not go to school, but I am here. My life is in Carroll County. My family is in Carroll County. My children are growing, making friends, and maturing into young adults in Carroll County. I once told someone that we haven't made a single friend since we moved here, but we sure have made a lot of new family. Home is where our life is. It's where our family is. It's where our heart lives. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, I am from Carroll County. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate your support today, and I'd like to ask for your support in the election. Thank you all very much.